This podcast is brought to you by the School of Advanced Study, University of London. All of our podcasts are available from our website, www.sas.ac.uk.
I just want to welcome you all. Hi, take a seat. Just say good morning and welcome to this first workshop of the Motherhood in Post-1968 European Literature Network, which is funded, we're very pleased to say, by the Arts and Humanities Research Council. So I'm Gill, and after I think so many emails with most of you, it's great to see everyone together in the same room. So welcome also, some of you have come from quite a long way. Welcome to Senate House, University of London, and also to the Centre for the Study of Contemporary Women's Writing at the Institute of Germanic and Romance Studies, which is hosting the network. So before we embark on today's discussion, I'm just going to briefly recap what the network's about, what to expect today, and what our plans are over the next year and a half. So while so much valuable work is done on mothers and motherhood within individual disciplinary and interdisciplinary boundaries, it's long been understood that discussion across and between disciplines and cultures can enhance debate and understanding, and several excellent networks working on motherhood already exist to this end. What this network aims to do differently from the groups already in existence is to focus in particular on raising the profile of literary representations and narratives of mothering and motherhood within a specifically European context in order to integrate their insights into interdisciplinary discussion. So our impetus for this work is the climate of changing family demographics in Europe as a consequence of, for example, changing family patterns, new reproductive technologies, mass migration and globalization, hybridization of identities, economic crisis and high unemployment, which are creating new experiences, challenges and opportunities for women as mothers, and new issues and challenges for feminisms and feminist scholars and researchers of motherhood and the family. So that's our context. Our main aim is to bring together researchers engaged in studying motherhood in individual European literatures, with researchers and practitioners working on motherhood from a range of different disciplines in order to foster dialogue between us. We want to see what women's writing in particular can offer interdisciplinary study of motherhood, and how it might intervene into current debates, as well as exploring what other disciplines can bring to the study of literature. So we hope that we will all gain new insights into motherhood and maternal subjectivity from these dialogues, and that the networking and links offered by our events and activities will benefit a wide range of participants. Our work unashamedly feeds into the impact agenda of the arts and humanities, the impact agenda, as we also aim to explore and elucidate the social impact of the study of literary treatments of motherhood, and to help foster a better understanding of the relationship between literature and society. Literature is much more than a reflection of reality, of course. It also reflects upon reality and issues of the day, and its imaginative interventions can provoke new ways of thinking about everyday problems. Autobiographical or fictional, or varying degrees in between, writing by women has distinct perspectives to offer on mothers and motherhood that frequently challenge or subvert normative discourse. Literary narratives and representations may provide access to inner fears and fantasies, those of mothers themselves and those of others relating to them. Literary techniques offer ways of expressing intimate feelings and experiences which may otherwise be inexpressible. For example, metaphor and fantasy may convey in a new way what it feels like to be pregnant, to give birth, to lose a child, or even to kill one. Literature, then, can inform insights into different elements of maternal subjectivity, and it can help us to understand them better. Now, interdisciplinarity has been the buzzword of academia for a long time now, but effective interdisciplinary discussion and debate is not always so common. All too often, I've found from my own experience, we come together with the best of intentions, and indeed we can go quite a long way down the interdisciplinary path together, only to find ultimately that individual disciplinary methodologies, understandings of evidence, language and terminology kick in. And we return then to our separate ways. Now, that's not to say that interdisciplinary discussion doesn't provide useful insights or is not worthwhile. Quite the contrary, I find it incredibly stimulating, and we do actually have to return in the end to our single discipline structures, or most of us do. No, it's rather to acknowledge that even with the very best of intentions and will, that there are problems and tensions involved in attaining productive interdisciplinary dialogue. We might also say the same for cross-cultural and comparative discussion, where there's always a tension to be negotiated between perceived commonalities around a particular topic and real differences that relate to specific cultural and national contexts. And language is an issue again here, of course. So we hope these workshops will be able to address these kinds of tensions head on. And try to find solutions for them rather than just papering over them, in order to open up discussion as much as possible. So that's just to encourage you to air any problems of that kind as we go along. So to this end, to try and bring out the most of the tensions but also the dialogue, we've organised each session today so that literature comes into dialogue with other disciplines. The plenary sessions each have a disciplinary mix of papers. The breakout sessions are led by literary scholars but will be summarised by colleagues from other disciplines. And for the breakout sessions later this morning, we've already divided you into 3 groups, and the list is in your workshop packs. And we'd ask you to attend the session that you've been allocated to. We've organised it so that everyone is, in some sense, out of their comfort zone rather than in it. So that we're all exploring and hopefully discovering something new. So don't think you're the only person who may feel a bit uncomfortable in what you're doing. As befits a workshop, we intend that a substantial amount of time is devoted to discussion, both formal and informal. Formal papers are limited to 20 minutes, formal discussants to 10 minutes, and the summarisers of the breakout sessions also 10 minutes each, so that we can have plenty of time for discussion in each session. And it would be great if all the contributors and chairs can ensure that we keep to that timetable. So I hope I'm not going to go over too much myself. Again, since this is a workshop, we're keeping introductions to a minimum. Just names and affiliation, I think. The biobibliographies of all participants are in the packs again, so you've got everything there. You're all encouraged to contribute to all the discussion sessions. We've got a deliberate mix of established and newer academics here, and the interchange between us all is an important part of what the network is about. So this first workshop on motherhood theories, methods and narratives has been designed to go some way to setting out an agenda for the network, to starting us off, and also to trying out a format for the rest of the workshops. So we're very keen to have your feedback on this first session. The last session of the day will mainly draw out content-related discussions, so we pull things together at the end of the day before we all go off. But it should also give us a chance to reflect on and critique the structure of the workshop. There's also an evaluation form in your pack, and I know they're tiresome, but we'd be very grateful if you could complete and return it either in hard copy before you leave this afternoon or via email afterwards, and Victoria can send you a copy of the form by email for you to do that. As you know, we're planning 5 workshops altogether, each on a different topic. And we envisage that a core of participants will attend all the workshops, but that each event will also attract different participants according to the topic. We plan to end the funded period of the network with a major international conference in 2013, October 2013. Together we hope with an exhibition and some author readings. Now, the conference call for papers should go out over the summer, or will go out over the summer. In addition, we are planning to involve a wider audience in the network via a range of online activities, which again will be set up over the summer, and that will include various types of resources, recordings, social networking, a blog and a virtual reading group. And of course we plan to publish, so there's quite a lot of activity and work for us to do over the next couple of years. Before I hand over to Adalgisa, who's going to chair the first session, I want to reiterate my welcome to you all and to thank you all for your participation. It's not going to exist without it. And also to acknowledge the help of others who are making this network possible. So above all, the AHRC, who are enabling us to do this work at all, the Network Steering Committee, whose names are in your sheet, in your pack, for all their enthusiasm and commitment, and they're all participating today in quite a big way, and they probably have a lot more hands-on involvement than they envisaged when they agreed to be on the steering committee, but their input and collegiality is invaluable and much appreciated.